We go. Welcome to the Tuesday night podcast. This is week 12. Dan. Jamie is now with us. I'm here, but I'm not going to do the whole podcast because I'm ugly and I take away playtime and the ratings are down. So we brought these two handsome devils in. So
I just want to say something, though.
He's not wrong.
We were supposed to have donuts tonight.
Fucking
yeah.
Sanchez.
When you guys run into Paul Sanchez, you let him know.
I give him a nickname like fucking Sanchez. You don't get that.
And you
just
shit the
don't
bed,
get
dude.
that.
Yeah.
Then you
Shit the
shit the
bed.
bed.
He claims he didn't get the post in time.
I fasted too to have a donut tonight, so now I'm going to starve for my game.
Yep, I was ready. I could taste the donut at 5 o'clock on my couch.
We even came here early to eat donuts before our
We
game.
came early. I was watching TV, hanging
Because I could
out.
taste them already.
Yeah.
So this is a brief. We're going to do an imaginary donut. I'm just kidding. I was gonna stop and get some Little Debbie's and give them those, but that wouldn't have cut it for Dan here. So I didn't want to insult him. Anyway, league news. There are only 5 spots left as far as I saw today for the Joe Cervola tournament. They are drawing the draft positions tonight for the goalies, so we won't have that now, but they'll have that later. We are full for next session on Tuesdays. Jim Schott told me the other day that Dan Diaz said he wants to be a sub, not a full-time player, and Nick Mathian doesn't know he can play, so 2 of the guys that are on the waiting list will be moving into the draft. I'll update that soon. Did you get it in the email? Did you get
Yeah,
the
I
list?
got it.
Okay.
Got it.
I'm also going to be doing a mock draft, and I will air that at some point. So that will be before the end of the season. We'll have our mock draft. And then I got bad news. Jim Bertolino the other night, from what I hear, he kind of got scummed by a certain individual. I'm not going to say any names. He was battling with one guy. Another guy came running across the rink and hit him. And he may have a rib injury. We don't know yet. I haven't spoken to him. But we may not have him next week because he wasn't able to go to the gym. And if Jim can't go to the gym, then yeah, it's bad. So
He misses his rub down sessions.
well,
That's
I
no good.
wasn't here this week to rub him down. So
He
Mike
goes to the gym.
Reagan, where were you? You should have rubbed him. Anyway,
So you don't think it's a position.
he'll give you a quarter. So anyway, we may not have Bertolino next week due to upper body injury. So one thing I want to address before these guys get into the game results and whatnot is I wasn't here the other night, so I didn't see it, but I heard some things happened. I heard it was a little bit more physical than usual.
Yes.
Is that true?
I don't know. My game was.
I thought it was what we normally see. I don't think there was anything wrong with the physicality. I don't think there was anything different than what I've been seeing. And I thought the refs called a fine. I watched.
I got a couple people that called me, and I'm not going to say any names.
I think
but
in our game, there was a couple of plays that happened, but when it happened to the player, they didn't realize the ref. There was one in the corner where the ref actually had to turn to get out of the way.
Right.
I don't think they realized till after the game the ref didn't see it.
Well, I did hear that, and it involved your game, was that Frank Napple, who's one of the cleanest and nicest guys to place here, ended up with 3 penalties in his game. And from what I was told, a certain player was flopping all over the place and diving.
Yeah.
I spoke to Bill Herman, and Bill said that the same thing that Frank did twice, where he came down over the top of the guy's stick. He said you did it a couple times and got away with it. He said Martz does it and gets away with it, but as soon as Frank does it, they bang him for it. Do you feel that's true or no?
I don't really pay attention when I do it.
Okay.
But I think
I know you do it. I've seen you do it.
I think I probably do it 1,000 times a night. Mm-hmm. But I think I remember the one he did talk about. There was 4 different sticks in the middle.
Yep.
When Frank has done it, he's by himself,
Yeah.
and I think that could alienate him from.
Oh, okay.
It's
I do
right
it
in the middle.
yeah,
It's by himself.
All right, well,
A
that's
lot of
fine.
times I've done it, and
That's-
it's with 2 or 3 other sticks, so it's constant. It's not. You know, anybody can complain about. Yeah, no, I know.
I'm asking
I think what it is they can complain.
No matter what.
I think the refs are doing okay.
Okay. But and from what conversation I had with our commissioner, he did say that he spoke to one of the refs, and the ref said that they did struggle a little bit, but everybody was bitching at him. And when everybody's bitching at you, I know when I reffed and everybody was bitching at me, it can put you on tilt, and you can struggle when you're reffing.
I will say one thing. I'm not going to get into specifics, but one of the refs had something happen to him personally. He had no business being here.
Okay.
So the fact that he even showed up and made a 2-ref system for you guys to play your games, if you guys knew, if you talked to him and you heard about what happened, this would be nothing. You guys, we wouldn't be complaining about this. This is nothing. I mean,
Okay. Okay,
I
that's
had the
fine.
conversation. I talked to him. I talked to Kasachi because I knew something wasn't right. I mean, you get to know the refs a little bit and you talk to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once I found that out, I'm like,
Well,
that's
one of the things that
commendable.
did happen the other night, that the next time it will be addressed, you will be suspended or you will be thrown out. You'll be definitely at least a one-game suspension. Is you cannot be throwing water bottles onto the floor. If that thing would have broke open, it would have delayed the games by who knows how long.
We would have cleaned the floor.
Well, Terry did that for us today.
Yes.
So thanks, Terry. By the way, Terry did a great job. But yeah, if that happens again, Jim's already told the refs as a commissioner that even though it's ridiculous, you can't be doing that. Throwing a water bottle on the floor, you're putting people in jeopardy. Because if they miss one wet spot, and you guys hit it with your foot, you know what's going to happen.
Personally, if the refs are watching, it should have never got that far.
Right.
He should have been gone before that.
Okay.
And that guy's on my team.
Right. So it was that bad? I didn't.
well, there was a lot of motherfucking this, motherfucker. Before
can
he
tell
even
you what,
threw the
Hey,
bottle.
this is a family-friendly show.
Yes.
Watch your mouth.
I'm just telling you what he said.
What a dumb fuck.
Right. Fuck this
I'm
guy.
just saying, even you shouldn't act like that.
Right.
You can get mad. I get mad. I mean,
You get mad?
it's in the game sometimes.
Really?
He was mad in that game.
Really?
Yeah, I yelled at our
this,
player a couple
look at
times.
You were mad. You had 4 goals.
Hey,
Oh, and in other news, we still have not located El Rex's game.
we did. There was a picture of a turd on Facebook.
You saw that? I was waiting for more comment.
It's the
Oh,
funniest
my.
thing I
You
saw.
can't comment on a
Did you like the
turd.
Neil Turvey one with the Badger?
Yes.
That was good. That was one of my better ones. I like that one.
You cannot comment on a turd. I'm sorry.
You're like, LOL. I could just see you sitting
You're
in your
like,
desk
Jesus,
laughing.
that's what I was
dying
thinking.
laughing. I was
You
like-
said it. I was thinking it. He was like, jeez, Rick.
Oh, well, I'm in the hotel and I'm bored.
That
Takes
was
a
good
picture
one.
of turds.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Jesus.
All right.
So yes, El Rex. That was not El Rex's game. That was a joke. Nobody has located El Rex's game. I think Pat said he's going to look for it in Plano, Texas, when he's there.
Yes, I believe so. He said there was a broom closet down there, but I don't know if he's located.
And he said it was dusty.
Yes.
It was dusty.
So, well, El is dusty. Hopefully he doesn't come in here tonight. I mean, he was praying last week. He got mad at us.
Yes.
He said we were picking on him. El, we love you, man. We're just
We
busting
do.
balls.
I can tell you, Al will not be in the 10th round.
No, he'll be in the 11th.
I'm trying to be serious.
I know you
Being
are.
a captain.
All right.
He won't be in the 10th
So-
or the 11th.
Anyway, so that was what these guys are going to go over the rest of the scores and everything. I'll pop back in here in a little bit.
Stay with us for the scores.
Okay, all right. Well,
We can
for
discuss
game
it.
one,
we
You
saw.
started this.
game one, you guys were well. You didn't play in it. You played in 2 and 3.
I played in 2 and 3.
Yep. Good game.
Very good game.
Very good game. Actually, what did we go up, 4-1?
Yeah, so not fast but furious got up to
Did Burness really score in his first
8
shift?
seconds
Like
in.
O'Gilvy?
8 seconds
Actually,
in,
heard.
Burness,
8 seconds in.
Burness like blew by me, and I was like,
which isn't
I guess
hard.
we
Oh,
probably
you're
should
the
not
one who
hard,
said he
blow by
turned
name.
into a pylon. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, he said he turned
and
somebody
I
into
actually
a
watched.
pylon.
I
and
stayed
scored.
with him too about the face-off dot, and
Yeah.
he was just gone. And
He
I
turned
was,
the afterburner on.
I was just like, all right.
I
Well,
don't
fine.
think Stu was ready for a shot.
Yeah, and I
The
don't
game
think-
had just started.
Yeah,
Like, I think Stu was still in, like...
that's Ben McDaniel, by the way. Say hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
I mean, it was actually like the week before where I lined up in the overtime.
Yeah.
Burness just did it with a winger and a D guy
Oh,
there.
okay.
And I kind of saw what was going on, and it was just like
That donut hadn't digested yet.
he was just by me, and Stu was kind of like, oh, hanging out.
Made a good shot.
But Ben came right back with one,
Yeah.
and there was no way that I was going to let Burness walk into this league and just think he owns it.
Oh.
So I made sure to score
He
right
waits
away.
until after they play him to talk
Yes.
shit.
Oh, we had to make sure we win.
Yeah.
Did you guys comment on the shirt he wore yet?
No, but Bill told me he made it special for him.
Yes.
Nice job, Mr. Herman. By the way, if you need jerseys, T-shirts, hats, koozies, whatever, Bill Herman's your man. Identity Inc. Cheap pop.
Yep.
Yeah, I did see the shirt.
BDL
And
Tuesday MVP.
Yeah.
Pat came out and he had his shirt on, and he made a comment, "Wow, I'm fat." Did you see that?
I saw that.
So he got his 8 seconds, and then
Of fame?
what I did was let Ben score, and then I let him know who was out there. I put the next 4 in,
Yeah. Okay.
and then we went up 4-5-1 or 5-2 maybe.
And they battled back.
Yes, they
And I heard
did.
Michael Becky had a really good
Yes.
game too. I
Yeah,
heard
that whole
Mike
line played well. They
yeah.
were starting to gel a little bit. I mean, we were asking Pat if if Bill Herman, did you have to find that shirt a baby gap for Pat? But they were like, he's fat. I'm like, well, that's a tiny shirt. But anyway, the Kings played They came to
played
play.
well. That was a hard game.
By the way,
They
the
came to
final in that
play.
game, it was 6-5, not fast but furious.
And
they
did
had
have a
chances
couple
to
power
tie it.
plays at the end. They
had a chance to
had
tie
good
it.
They had a
chances.
5-on-3 at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do know that they lost Frank, so that kind of hurt them too because they probably dropped somebody else back to defense.
I want to know our goal differential for the second period. It can't be good.
No, ours
We
is
are-
terrible.
For some reason, we are not a second period team.
Yeah. In the game, we had Joe Preischel, who's been he's been hit or miss this year with when he shows up. We would have liked to have Joe for the whole season, but he had a goal and 3 assists. And this guy again with 4 goals. He's trying to catch Verdi for the goal
That's not gonna
goal
happen.
trophy.
I will say though, in Joe's defense, he won 2 key draws that I got. One was a shitty win, but the ball rolled back just enough.
Yep.
And the other one was a solid win right back to me, and there was no doubt they were going in.
Okay. And then Burness in his Tuesday night debut for the Kings had 2 goals and an assist, and again Michael Becky goal and 2
Yeah.
assists. So Mike is I think he's healed up from his bounce at Arcade when he bounced off the floor, and we're glad to have you
Yeah,
back.
those
Mike.
guys
Glad
played
to see
hard.
you playing.
They looked good.
Yeah.
They looked like a team. I mean, they gelled. The chemistry looked like it was there. I mean, they were in that game, and I honestly thought that they were going to tie that game.
Furnace
Stu-
did his usual antics. He was all over the floor. He was winger, center.
And they moved in around that. You know,
Well, and those guys
Stu
will-
made some saves. I mean, at the end, there were shots.
Yeah.
He made some saves.
Those guys will adjust quickly to playing with him because they're used to playing with players like
Actually,
that.
under
so.
10 seconds to go, 6-on-3. Terry had a shot from the point. I mean, Stu had to make a save.
Oh no! They won that ball back to Terry clean, and he hesitated, and then tried to shoot it. Oh. Yeah, but he hesitated. He had it on his stick. He could have one-timed that. We were talking.
Well, in last week,
Oh, I could be. Maybe that was the case,
I
Terry.
think we
I'm
did
sorry.
say that was the game of the week, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah, and it turned out to be.
Yep.
So
It
with
was.
Mr. Burness showing up,
We
hey,
have terrible seconds, and we blew a lead. We kind of look like a signature Sanchez team, 4 or 5 goal win lead,
Sanchez.
and we just decide, you know what, we're just done playing.
That's Stanford. Stanford says his teams all do that, where they get up like 3-4-1, and then they like.
That's kind of our team too, though.
We didn't
Well,
stop,
I think we
though.
get tired because we've only had 5 or 6 guys the last couple weeks. So
We didn't slow down. They just kept bringing it over and over.
game 2, Hitmen 6, Kramer 4.
Yeah. Another
That was a good
game
game.
that was, it was I think 5-1. They got another goal off the backboard and a tip in front.
Yeah.
Bench. I had to yell at my brother for allowing that guy to just have an open tap.
Oh, by the way, Frank, thank you for filling in. We had guys that were supposed to be here that, for whatever reason, didn't show up.
Thank you, Kramer, for allowing us to have a sub. Didn't have to, I know, but I mean,
Yeah,
it was,
yeah, they did. You have. If you have less than 7,
I get
somebody
it.
can play.
I get it, but I told them straight out. If they said no, I would play with 6.
Okay, well,
I gave them
thanks,
the
guys.
choice.
Dan, I
gave them the
appreciate it.
choice.
Pretty reasonable guy.
Yeah,
Yep.
they are. No, they're reasonable. guys.
Puffer and Kramer, they
Buffer had
full
another
marks.
solid game back there.
course
Watched
he did.
most of it.
He's solid. I mean, and from what now the text I got from Puffer the other day is that Jared Pinner is in the draft. So with Puffer having the first pick, that might.
We already know where he's going.
I wouldn't be surprised
Yeah.
if he takes Pinner first.
Yeah.
So
I think the question now is who goes 2, 3, and 4. It could go either way.
well, when you'll see in my mock draft, maybe. I think I honestly believe it's going to go. Who's picking 1? Puffer's picking 1. So
Price shows 2.
I'll tell you the truth. I think Preichel's going to take Vertolino at 2. He might even take Burness though because he knows Pat.
Yep.
He's played with him and against him. So really, I'll tell you the top 5. I think will go like this. I think it's going to be 1 will be Pinner will go to Puffer. Burness will go to Preichel. Vertolino will go to Reed. Who's picking 4? Shot.
No.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Shot. Yep.
Yeah,
Shot picks
okay.
4. Shot. I think Shot will take Rukoff or Reagan. One
Over
of the 2.
Dotson?
Oh wait, Dotson. That's right. Shot might take. Yeah, but
That would be my biggest
that'd be your
dilemma at
conundrum.
third.
At
That
third,
would be a
Vertolino
third.
over or Dotson.
I love having a solid defense, but
Yeah.
Vertolino,
There's a lot of solid defensemen in this league, though.
Yeah.
There are. So I mean, you got him. You can grab in the second round.
no, I know. I got half a plan.
I
I'm not letting
half a
anything out. I got
plan.
half a
I'll tell
plan.
you, yeah, Shot would be stupid not to take Dotson at 4, and then who picks 5th? Favada would take Rukoff, I think. And then 6, you got
Favada might
Goodrich.
try for
you
somebody
got
shorter
Goodrich,
than
and
him.
Goodrich would probably take.
I would take Frank Russo.
He'd probably take. No, I don't. He didn't take Russo he took Husinger at first pick last year. he'd probably go. I mean, he might pick his guys he's got this time. Who knows? But,
I mean, and then you got the second round coming. You still got Marks up there. You got Jamie still up there.
Reagan.
There's Reagan. There's
got
a lot of.
Floret.
You got Floret.
Reagan could go 6 or
Yeah.
Goodrich. I mean, he could go Reagan, Husinger.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got both his centers right there.
Or
That's-
he could go Reagan or Floret and
oh yeah, Reagan.
and Brandon.
Floret. Yeah.
I don't think goalies we're going to see for about 3 or 4 years.
I
He's
don't know.
really
With
late.
Floret, the way he plays, you might see him go in the second round. Especially if a team like you're gonna. If you start off with you and, or you got Puffer. Puffer comes back around and gets, one of his guys like Connolly, and he starts out with Pinner, Connolly, and I'd take Floret there. I mean, why
He
wouldn't you?
could go. I think he could go early third, maybe late third. That sounds like a plan.
I took him early third in our draft because I knew he was going to be the best goalie.
Yeah.
So, but getting back to the game,
So where did we put Puffer now that he's drafted as far as draft?
he's the same as Dan and
Third.
Favada, third round pick.
Right, so he wouldn't have the third. He wouldn't be able to do that.
Just so you know, Joe Preishel did reach out to Jim and said that he didn't think he was a fourth rounder. I put him the same level as Goodrich, both fourth rounders, because this league is not as deep as Tuesdays. Those guys are both. The reason I picked them both as fourth rounders, they're point of game guys. They're over point of game guys, so that's why they're fourth rounders.
I thought there was nothing wrong with where you slotted.
Yeah, I didn't think anything was wrong with that.
And then anyway, in the Hitman Kramer game, we had your brother Frank 2 goals, 1 assist. Or I'm sorry, you had 2 goals
I
and
had
1
2 goals,
assist.
1 assist.
Verdi had 3 goals and 1, another hat trick. He's up
Yep.
to, I think he's over 40 goals now, right? We got Moochie with 2 goals and an assist and a cheap shot.
Yep.
And
You
Puffer
said you
with a
would
goal
say
and an
no
assist.
names.
I just said a cheap shot. I didn't say on who.
You said Mucci with 2 goals and an assist and a cheap shot.
Yeah, but I didn't say on who.
Yeah, but in the opening you said there was a cheap shot. I won't say no names.
I said that during that part of the cheap shot. How do you know it was that cheap shot I was talking about?
This is the only cheap shot.
Oh, I thought there were
and
more.
he's generally-
The way the commission made it sound, that game was full of cheap shots.
I think he plays hard,
I
but
thought it was
he's
pretty clean game.
very. He gets out of control in the corners with his sticks.
9:30. I looked at the stat sheet and I thought Jake Miller was maybe drunk or something happened. I saw the score and I'm like, holy shit. Or I thought maybe El Rex found his game and had 4 goals. I couldn't believe it when I saw that KAS beat Dateline 6-3. And from what you guys are telling me, Biber played out of his mind.
Out of
And
his
I heard it wasn't
mind.
even close.
Really.
You
said it was late, 2 tap-ins late. It was
Yeah,
like
I know
6-1.
I think Favada scored, I want to say with like 30 or 40 seconds left.
Wow.
It was a tap in. Biber, their goalie, like I've watched games and, it is what it is. But this game, Jay Biber, you were on fire.
That's what, yeah.
Listen,
I mean,
he was great.
And
He made
when he was
big
in the league
saves.
at the beginning of the year, and I told these guys, I said, I've seen Biber play. He's a good goalie. He's not. I mean, he's not your Kasachi level. I mean, he's not your Denny level in net, but he's a good goalie. I put him.
What isn't Denny good at?
Yeah.
I put him above Mary Jo in that
yeah.
fashion of a goalie. And I've seen him play at Mineral, and I thought it was the angles and the building and not being used to the size, and he also wasn't used. A couple games he got overheated at the beginning of the
Yeah.
year,
Yep.
but I mean, I knew he had it in him, just
Yep.
like Tarquin had it in him a couple weeks ago when he, So good for you, Jay.
So he played well.
The King, I'll tell you what, the Kings goalie, he made some saves on me that I couldn't believe he
Tarquin
made.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they were mad. I don't know. I think for the 2 long ones I got on him.
Yep.
But playing goalie before, my shots curve.
Right.
They're not.
You and Herman's shots dance.
They don't
You
just
see
go
Herman's
straight
ball
down.
like that too.
I mean,
So-
even the one I shot 5-hole
Right.
on him was not. I mean, they're all hard shots. I'm not.
Right.
He made a couple where I was in the middle, one-timers and stuff.
Oh, where you walked into the slot and made 2 defensive fall
made-
down?
I did do that too.
I'm sure you did. I've seen you do it. So okay. gang.
Actually, this week was probably I did more stick
Jay
handling.
Husinger's
this week.
Captain Dangles. You're Captain Dingles. So.
So I will say this too, and I'll go back to the Kramer game for a second. Thomas Siegel, the goalie,
Yep.
I had a lot of shots in both games. I
Yep.
made a point to be like Dan and
Yep.
shoot a lot, and I did put 4 by him, 2 in each game, but a couple of them curved. I probably had 20 shots.
Okay.
He made some saves on some shots, and I was like, oof. He played well.
That's
in the
why,
second
okay,
game.
that's why there were only 5 goals on the list because you had 2 goals for KS.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's where the confusion. And you said it was 7-3.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's what we
Okay.
when we counted on the bench when he scored. It was
We had a
7-3.
great scorekeeper. He would never mess up the score.
Oh, the great scorekeeper was in great shape. I heard Monday
Oh
night.
yeah, he was doing well. He gave me Sardo's 19 minutes and penalties. Oh yeah, he was terrible.
Should I do that? Is that okay?
So,
Yeah, I mean,
wait,
it's
let's
legal.
do
so
this.
Siegel,
Sweet.
he played well.
Okay.
A lot of the problems he had in the
Truly?
KAS
I
game.
want it truly. I'm really thirsty.
Dick. We made a point of putting shots in deep and putting shots and getting rebounds on him. And our guys, El Rex, Doc, Goodrich, Frank, they went and got those balls. It was.
Well, Al always goes and gets the balls. So
He's a ball hawk.
Frank in the game, 2 goals and assists. Goodrich, 2 goals and assists. Husinger with a goal and 2 assists. And then in a losing effort, Favada in on all 3 gols, 2 goals and an assist. You know, I mean, he really is their catalyst.
Yeah, he is.
I went right to the 3, and Al Rex is still looking for his game. We're going to try and find it for you, Al. The 3 stars. That's what I had just looking at the stats. I don't know if you guys, how you feel about that, but I got Donuts here at 1 with 4 goals, Verdi 3 goals and assist at 2, and Preischel with a big game, goal and 3 assists.
What's your 3 stars?
I would probably put it that way.
You have to put yourself in the star. Is that
I got
functional?
4 goals on
On
a
a
defense is
defenseman?
tough,
Yeah.
pretty tough to do.
All right.
Who are your 3 stars there, Mr.
Okay. All right.
Annunziata?
I'll do it. Verdi, I'm going to put him as first star because he took a beating.
Yeah.
He did take a beating, and he played through it. And the one thing about Verdi is, and I respect this about him because I don't actually remember it being this way, is he doesn't bitch. He takes a beating week after week after week, and he doesn't complain to anyone. He just comes back
He
to
might
us.
every once in a while say, "Come on!"
Yeah,
but I mean,
he came back to us and goes, "Now I'm pissed off." And we knew that
well,
there
now
was a
let
problem.
me ask this: what happened between him and the goalie? I heard there was a rift.
I think it was after this happened to him.
Okay.
He was kind of getting trolled by Siegel.
Okay.
Siegel was doing him.
Okay.
And he didn't do nothing. He just said something, and then he came back to us and goes, "Now I'm pissed."
Okay.
And so I was like, "Well,
Well,
that's not good."
I heard he went over to talk to Siegel and say, "Hey, you know, I didn't say anything. I wasn't bitching." And then Siegel told him, and then Naval came over and gave him a shove, and then it
Yep.
was okay.
So that was bad. I don't really think
All right.
we should make him mad.
Well-
But he does, and as I respected about him because he takes a beating every week. He's marked man, public enemy number 1, and he doesn't bitch. And I play with guys like this
were
who
they digging
complain.
on Florette too every time there was a cover up?
No,
Were they digging hard?
we kept that
To a minimum?
pretty clean.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Diaz, myself, and my brother, we kept that pretty
I
clean.
don't think I've ever played Bertolino dirty. I can say that.
I don't think
Yeah.
you've ever played anybody dirty that I've seen. Not the old
I
timers
played
league
clay.
anyway.
You never
I
played with
played-
him in
You
cruisers.
clean clay?
Well, I've done.
You clean clay?
You've never played
What
him
do you-
in
how do you-
cruisers.
how do
I
you
can
clean
tell you that.
Cruisers.
How do you
Yeah,
clean
never
clay?
played him in cruisers.
What's clean clay?
Yeah, I play clean.
It's fucking ice pick Dan Reed right there. So I put Verlino first. Second, let's see here. I had to think about this.
No, he's not. He's being a dick.
I'm not being a dick.
It's like when you used
Would you
to,
let me get my second star out?
It's like when
Go
you
ahead.
used to pick guys and then leave him out of the scoring race.
No, I'm tied for 6.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to give it to Dan. Dan's shot is Dan's shot. I watched him in warm-ups, and like a fucking machine, he just stands there and it's like he's just waving his arms, and it goes bar down in the same spot every time.
Do we play you this week?
Yep.
Because I was told you're not getting a shot from the point this week, just so you know.
Listen,
So-
you guys play the way you did last time to me. I might
won't
not
a
get
shot
one.
from the point.
So Dan Reed is good. So third star, right? There's a lot of people there. Preischel and Favada had a good game, and there's guys who had good games, but they just don't get love, and I have to do it again. The KS goalie Jay Biber, that game was close until like the mid-second period, and we scored a couple goals. He made a lot of big saves. My third star is KS goalie Jay Biber, and
I didn't see the game, so I take his word for it.
Okay.
If
I
he
believe
had that
him.
good of a game, I
well,
can agree
it
with
was
that.
he was good. He
And
made-
then
Actually,
What-
you know
what-
what? Every time we've played KS, we've never blown them out.
Yeah.
He's
No,
got
they
better
don't
than
get blown out. They don't get blown out. Let me ask you this: what happened to you in that game? You got hurt?
Yeah, so I was probably 3 minutes left. I was defending the Sanchez, and he went to spin shoot, and I was expecting him to pass, and it was actually a shot. So my pad had moved, and his stick went directly under my kneecap into probably, what is this?
Your patella.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like a stinger. I mean, I was on the ground like a little bitch, rolling around. Then, the pain went away, so I tried to come back out and play.
Sanchez just
Yeah.
they just announced him.
And
He
Yeah,
just
the
hacked
friggin-
somebody else.
Freaking forgot our donuts.
I ran around for a second. I tried to stop on it, and it gave out, and the pain came back. So I tried again, went to the bench, and finally I was like,
I actually finally
That's what
hear
it
some
is.
good music out there. It sounds like they're playing old Metallica. There's old Pothead Jake. Yeah, I hear
so
some old
we'll see.
Metallica.
I'm going to try to play tonight. I don't know.
DeGotti looks lost without Burness being here tonight.
Yeah, he's probably needs
His
some.
man crush here.
I'm gonna have to go talk to him.
Anyway, okay, so getting on to next week's games. The 7:30 game is we're playing you.
Yep.
And Bertolino, we won't know until doctor's clearance or the trainer tells me. But with him, I have us winning 7-3. Without him, I have us losing 3-2.
I have it as a game of the week for me
Okay.
because we haven't beat you twice. I'm gonna go, even if Verdi's there, I think we win 5-4.
Okay.
And I'm only saying that because we haven't lost since you guys,
Okay.
and we've been on a roll since.
Okay.
But we were on a roll last time,
And then
met you guys.
Yeah.
So,
And got smoked. Sorry.
I mean, no, you guys played us well. I can't argue that. I had shots the first couple of minutes, and then they were gone. I mean, that was it. By the end of the first, I had nothing, and there was.
I have. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your. Who do you
No,
got
no,
for-
by all means. So,
I'm
what
going
do you
to game
think?
2 because game 2 is my
Right.
game of the week with
So-
Burness playing against Favada.
I'm not going to, be a homer, but I'm going to say we won 12 in a row? 11 in a row?
I had 12.
12 in a row.
Who did you guys lose to?
We lost the very
First game
first
of the
game to
season.
Dateline.
We didn't have Reagan. I've
Yeah,
never
Reagan
played there
wasn't
before.
here. Florette hadn't played here. Verdi wasn't used to playing here. Verdi told me he struggled the whole game. You could tell him. And the next week it was like something clicked. So
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and say
So that must have been the week Nick's head almost exploded when he started thinking they were the best team.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
he told us to go back to Mineral.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah,
did.
Somebody
and
did.
I'm not even from Mineral, so I was like, what does he mean by that? So I'm going to go ahead and say I always pick these to be good games. I always expect them to be good games. They have a lot of good players on their team. If our whole team shows up or the key players show up, which I'm assuming they're going to, I still can't pick against us until really somebody beats us. So I'll say 5-3 Hitmen
Okay.
with or without Verdi.
All right.
I don't care.
Okay, cool. Game 2, we got the Kings versus Dateline Predators. Burness is back. Burness is in the league now. That makes the Kings better. And Dateline seems to be struggling. They're reeling. That's my game of the week. I can't wait to see Favada go against Burness. So I'm taking the Kings 6-4 over Dateline.
I'm actually going to say all 3 games this week are the games of the week.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Because I got reasons. After the Kings last week, how hard they played us, adding Burness. Dateline Predators have been getting beat up lately. I think they're going to hang in, but I think Burness is going to pull them out in the end.
Okay.
And then, Jamie? I'm going to say 5-3. I'm going to say 5-3 Kings.
Okay. I'm going to go Dateline Predators. I'm going to say
Are
7.
you doing everything against us tonight?
No,
He's being Jamie.
no. I've played these teams. This team, they're not third team in the league by accident.
Yeah, Jake knows
If
that's
their
a
whole
dog.
team shows up, you got Rukov, you got Sanchez, you got Favada.
Yep.
Their goalie's solid, and they're nothing against the Kings. I think this is a 7-5, 7-6 game. That's what I feel. I mean, at this point in the season, I think we are who our record says we are.
Yeah.
And they're 7-5-1, and they're 3-8 and something,
3-8,
like that.
3-1.
So I don't want to just read the standings and say this is what I think, but I think, after 3 weeks it's tough to do, 5 weeks it's tough to do. When you're at 12, 13 weeks, I think you got to get a little bit of respect for
They
what
have
you've
been
done.
short here and there, though, the
Yeah.
Kings. They've
been
look at
all
us
season,
last time
all
we beat
season.
them 9-1. It really shouldn't have been
Yeah,
9-1.
it shouldn't have been, no.
I mean,
He brings that up. He's got
Yep,
to
no
just threw that in
disrespect.
your
No
face,
disrespect.
guys.
It's a 7-6
no,
game.
what the fuck?
Just kidding.
I gotta
dig
that's what I
you a
think.
little.
That's what I think.
Game 3, we got KAS versus Kramer, and I'm picking KAS to go 3-2 over Kramer. I'll be right back.
That's a bold prediction.
I had a bold prediction last week, and I said KAS would beat Dateline.
Yes, you did. Don't trip over that. I think I'm going to say this is going to be a game of the week too, but I think Kramer's going to stretch this out 4-3. I think the KS goalie going off of Jamie, how well they played last week, I think he has another solid game. But Kramer does have 9 or 10 guys. I think KS is, 7, 8 on a weekly basis.
And one of them's Al Rex.
Yeah.
So.
Who's that?
Who's singing?
No, Rex.
I said one of them's Al Rex. So.
Where's his game?
So I think with Kramer, they got a good team. I think they come up and I think they win 5-3 also, and I think Puffer makes the difference.
I think with losing Naval, unless they pick up Hassey, I think having that guy missing is going to change. I think it's going to hurt.
Play.
I know, but I'm saying after this week he goes to corrections. I think they should have picked up Hassey. I think that was a mistake, but that's their decision.
Yeah.
This late in the season, I'm not going to question it, but I think Hassey would help that team.
I'm going to go KAS 6-4 because I'm an asshole and my brother plays in that team. And I think both teams are pretty good. They're pretty tough. They play pretty hard. If I'm going to flip a coin between one, I'll just pick the team my brother plays on.
All right,
Sorry
that's
about it.
Well, the next thing I'm going to do is, I was going to do power rankings here, but I thought of something on the way here. We did this last session. They picked the MVP from each team. Because at the end of the year, we're going to have an MVP, of course. So right now, I'd like to know who everybody thinks the MVP is from each team. So starting with the Hitmen, who's your MVP?
Bertolino.
Bertolino. With Floor at a close second.
Yep.
Not Fast but Furious.
Dan Reed.
That was my pick.
You're on the team, so you can do whatever you want. You can actually pick yourself.
I was actually going to say Ben McDaniel. He fucking runs nonstop.
Listen, this is no offense to anybody.
Yeah,
Just,
I might have 26 goals, but
without him, you don't have 26 goals.
No, but these guys give me
your
the
5
ball.
assists are all missed
Yes.
shots. Go ahead. Anyway.
No, but they get me the ball on the point, and that's if they don't get me the ball, I don't get a shot.
He does have 5 assists too.
I know. And
I think 3 of them hit a pad and went right to Sean Marks.
They did. The one did last week when I played for you. So okay, all right. Then you got Ben. I've got you.
Okay.
So I do with 29 goals from a defenseman. That's pretty fucking good. So
26?
26 now.
no, 29.
Is it?
25 last week. You're up to, didn't you?
No, you had 21 last week.
21
okay.
last
So
week.
you
I
got
had
25.
26.
You got 29 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dateline Predators. I know Favada's leading their team in scoring, and Nick, you're right there for your MVP. But Donnie Rukoff is my MVP on that team.
Actually, you know what's funny? I knew Rukoff's name. I never knew who he was till a couple of weeks ago, and every time I watch him, he is one of the most dangerous on the floor.
Yep.
He is hard to play against.
Yes, he is. He's
Nick, I know where he's going. It's only probably about between his
right behind
goal.
you when you're in
yeah.
the point.
Usually, if I'm on the point, he's usually down by Stu.
Right behind
Actually,
you. So no,
Me,
Nicky, we're just
I'll be
kidding.
different. I'll pick the Sanchez. Don't get a nickname like that on accident. And you forgot my donuts, you fuck. But
That's why he shouldn't be MVP.
right. But hey,
we'll give
you
you a
bring me
chance.
great bait, and I think you're hell of a
Tell you
player,
what,
so
you don't
you're my
bring
MVP.
donuts next week though. Your Basil website's going to have a lot of bad reviews on you.
Well,
Lester, but who's
Lester,
counting?
either way, I don't care. I'll even put them on Basil and use your name.
next I'm going the Kings, and my choice. I mean, it's easy to pick right now, but it was only one game. My choice for the Kings, and people are going to kind of say, really? I'm picking Bill Herman. He's been the glue that's held that team together this year.
I can go with that.
I know he's a captain, he's supposed to, but he's been solid all year. He's got a great shot. He can play forward or defense. He plays both to a T. So my MVP for the Kings, he's a pain in the ass. My MVP for the, and he can win those big draws.
Yeah.
Is Bill Herman.
I'm going to agree with you.
Okay.
I'm there.
Okay.
I love Bill.
Number 5, KAS. Now this is tough because your brother's a stud, but that team really, when they play well, it's when Al Rex is running and they feed off of them. My MVP for KAS, and I'm not just doing this because of Al Rex game and the joking around and everything, because he's their catalyst when he gets going. My MVP for KAS is Al Rex.
You know what? I'm picking Allie and Frank. I'm picking 2.
Okay.
They both have almost the same style. Frank does have better hands, but Frank's also,
A monster.
I mean, he's
and
like
he cracks
that.
guys'
He's like that.
necks
Yeah,
for
he's like
free.
that guy's. He's like that Geico commercial. It's a walrus. I mean, he's
Ridiculous.
No,
Yeah.
and he cracks guys' necks for free, on the floor. So.
But
Yep.
it's you can't play defense and not know where those two are on the floor.
Yep.
Even though Al's not going to steal the ball from you and score 20 goals, he's still going to make you give that ball.
Oh yeah. Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
If I'm going most valuable, right? So my brother's right in there. That's fine. If I'm picking someone else other, I play against him all the time, so I know he's an asshole and he's hard to play against. So I'll say Jay Husinger.
Jay, that's a good pick too.
He plays forward, he plays back, he's in the right spots. And this asshole just ended this podcast with his stinkiness.
wow, that's ripe.
No, that's a crop dust if the plane crashes.
Oh my God.
Right.
This is what the body smelled like after the plane's crash.
Jesus. All right, let's go because we got to
Oh
play.
God! All right, yeah, we got to play. So, last but not least is Kramer Forestry. My MVP for Kramer Forestry is the beard, Dan Puffer.
Yep,
Mine.
I agree 100%.
Come on, it's okay. It cleared out. Okay, and then right into power rankings. Going off of that, you're 6.
I still got to go with KS.
I put the Kings at 6 because KAS won this week and the Kings lost.
Kings lost a hard game though.
But
It was a great game.
But KAS beat the second
I
what
do
was
know
the
that.
second, third place team.
I
So
know. I'm staying with KS though. I'm staying with
6. Okay, KAS Kings.
Kings.
Kings. Okay. 5 KAS.
Kramer.
Great. Wow.
Kings.
Okay.
I'm going on who gives me the toughest game.
Okay.
Right, Kramer's right there. Right, they're all tough. They,
For-
they're all tough.
All
but
teams
Puffer,
are tough.
Puffer
There's-
plays back.
He's
They're
just-
forwards.
His brother's sick of getting 5-6.
Yeah.
So he's
No.
trying to get him up there in the
The
rankings.
thing is, all of their forwards are motherfuckers.
Right.
And so that's what I see.
Okay.
I'm playing defense against
All
them.
right.
Those are the toughest
Well, the
games
game
I
we played, yeah. I mean, we got beat on, yeah.
So, I mean, it could be 5-4. It could be 4-5, 5-4. You guys
Okay.
can switch. It's just, they're motherfuckers.
all right.
Puffer, you're great. I just don't see you enough because I'm playing back and you're playing back.
My 4 is Kramer,
I'm gonna go Kramer.
and you're going to go KS, I'm assuming?
KS.
Okay. 3,
Actually, wait a minute. Kramer won this week, right? No, they lost.
No, they lost.
No, they lost. Okay.
my 3 is Nick's Band of Merry Predators.
3, I'm going Hitman. I'm just kidding. I'm going Alien Predators.
I was like, wow, dude, my heart actually hit.
I was like, good.
Okay.
Nope.
Jake?
I have the 3-2-1 the same as you do.
Yep.
Dateline, not Fast and
fast.
Furious,
Yep.
Hitman.
Hitman, that's
I'm going 2A, 2B again because to me, you guys are similar teams.
right.
They're
Hopefully Dateline figures out what's going on because if they don't, they're going to drop. They're going to go to 4 next
well. I mean,
week for me.
they played a team in
I still
KAS.
think even this week, if we were to beat you, we're still second. I still think you guys hold the first ranking. It doesn't matter if we were to beat you or not.
Okay.
If you lost this week and next week for some reason, I think you could slip to 2 only if we won both.
Okay.
I don't
Be able
see it
to-
any other
You
way.
could probably slip to 1.1. I get it.
Okay, well then we'll get right into the All-Stars by scoring the top 10 are Vertolino, Favada, Rukov, Dan Reed, Ben McDaniel, Sean Martz, Frank Russo, Jamie Annunziata, Paul
finally got
Sanchez,
recognized.
and Dan Puffer.
Yeah.
I said it last week too. Those will be the top 10 right now in scoring, and they will automatically be in the All-Star game. The rest will be drafted by, right now it's still looking like Florette and Stu. Florette will be the East, Stu will be the West, and the draft is going to take place after the conclusion of the last regular season game.
Nick Favada, though, that's open for discussion. We have a height rule for the All-Stars, so even though he finished second,
Every week.
he's really,
Wait until the end.
he's only about 4'8". So
How is it that I am by far the tallest person on this podcast and I don't make these jokes?
Oh, wait, speaking of short, look, it's Matt. Hey, Matty.
You're a dick.
all right,
That's all I got.
and that's all we got. Draft will take place after the
Draft
conclusion
will
of the last game.
take place. There's Matt Sudzik. Our team's starting to trickle in there, Jamie. We might have 3.
Including us.
I just want to say, I think the league's going great. I think we're in the right groove. I think we're going the right way. We're full for next session. Still add guys if they want to play. I'd like to grow the league to 8 teams. We'll see about that. We'll see what happens.
I do have one thing to say.
Yes.
On Facebook last week, Eric Schultz, he doesn't play here,
Made a lot of good points.
but he's a smart man. He's well respected,
And he watches the podcast.
and he watches the podcast.
I love you, Eric.
I love you too, Eric.
A lot of people don't know this.
He made a great comment.
If you guys have an issue, come to the guys in the league.
Yep.
It's Rick, him, me, Jim. Try to make Jim last. Don't bother him. He's got enough going
Favada's also on the council.
Yes.
So the next time we have an issue like we had last week, it was unfair of me and Jim not to bring these guys in on it, and we should have.
But
We
reach out.
made a mistake, but me and Jim were just trying to help and grow the league and help the teams. That's all we were trying to do.
But I think that's the big,
Nobody's trying to undermine anybody. Nobody's trying. There's no fishy shit going on. There's no old boys network. You're from Cruisers. You're from all over.
Yep.
I'm from Mineral. Jim Schott's been here. He played at Mineral. Favada's pretty much an Orchard Park guy.
Yep.
So we got a good mix of guys. Nobody's trying to stick anybody's ass.
I
was trying to help all the teams and keep it as competitive as possible.
Okay. Just take Schultz's advice.
Yep.
You got an issue, come to us. Don't go to Facebook, or we can just start blocking you. Then you can't make
Right. Well, and I will say this: when I sent the text out to the captains last week, when we made these changes, I said, please, if you have anything to say, contact me or Jim. They didn't. They went right to Facebook. You know what? It's fine. I understand.
Age, it's fine.
It's fine. But please, in the future, if you have an issue, before you go on Facebook and start bashing people and undermining the league, talk to us. Eric Schultz is a great guy. He's a smart guy. He's probably got one of the highest hockey IQs out of all the guys I know. Up there with Chris Sensor and Chris Banks. I mean, really.
What a lot of people don't realize, and Eric does, is I used to play with them at Scoops or play against them, whatever, and I was strictly a goalie until I hurt my knee. So I was like 18, 19 years old. I never held a hockey stick besides goalie, nothing. Eric Schultz taught me how to play hockey at Scoops before and after games we used to ref.
Eric Schultz used to bring my bottle of game every week.
Yep.
Right.
I'm just telling you, if I played because that's how he taught me to play,
it was nice
that's
to have an outside
Eric. I owe it
view
to you.
From him to pop
No
in.
homo.
And guys that don't know him, I'm going to tell you right now, Eric Schultz. A lot of these guys do know Eric Schultz. His reputation precedes himself. He is one of the best players to come out of the area. Injuries and stuff took its toll on him. I played with him on the Young Guns at Mineral. I played against him on Team Caution. He's one of the smartest and hardest ever to play against on defense. I mean, he's right up there with John Paul Draves. So
a little bit dirty.
That's why he's called Scumbag 1.0, and then Andy Pruitt's Scumbag version 2.0.
Oh, I know that.
And then Pinner's a close. He's right in there too. No,
I've seen.
I'm just kidding.
But just think about it. If you don't know who to go to, just message one of us.
Right. And that's another thing about Pinner. He learned a lot from Schultz.
I believe
Playing
it.
with Schultz. So
Just try to make shot the last person.
Right.
That's why we're helping out.
Right.
Even Ben McDaniel, if you need something, let one of us know.
we got to get ready. 7:35.
Yeah, and I got to
All
pee,
right.
so.
We'll see you next Tuesday.